Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, September 26th, and another season of Big Brother has now officially ended. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? Does it feel like a hangover, or does it feel like it was a really good show, or what are your thoughts? Oh, I guess you can't answer me. It's interesting. The online my mind is racing about 10 different directions down at once. Let's just talk about generalities and stuff. So we saw the competition, part 2, that Holly won. We did not see Nicole pass out or black out, which we heard about. So we're not sure how that factored in. She finished 4 minutes behind Holly. Was that a give? Was it 4 minutes or 2 minutes? Whatever it was, she finished behind. But we know that, according to Nicole, she blacked out or passed out. So was she really? Did they take that time off? Did they reset? What did they do? How did that work? We don't know. I don't know if we'll find out. Will anyone ask Nicole? Will she explain how it worked? Not sure. Somebody let me know if it happens, because I probably won't be paying that much attention. What else? The jury segment. Let's see. Jackson keeping Holly wasn't a shock at all. I'm trying to think of the highlights, the things that stuck out to me before you get to the obvious stuff. And we'll talk about this, by the way, for those of you that haven't figured it out or heard it yet. We'll be doing our finale show tomorrow night, Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so 10 p.m. Eastern Time is when you can hear Scott, Colette, and I talk about it. But I suspect that conversation is going to be a lot different than my conversation by myself. Just a guess. Let's see. So we saw them win. Saw the part 2. Saw Nicole come out on stage with the jury. Oh, we saw the round table. I half paid attention to the round table. I'm going to be totally honest. I really, really half paid attention to it. There was nothing that really stuck out to me. Yeah, that's the thing. The jury... So, those of you that don't know, the jury, when we used to get down to 2 people the weekend before the finale, which means super boring feeds because there's only 2 people left, but it also meant they did the jury ahead of time. Now, I don't remember when it ended, so it probably ended further back than I realized, but this is what I recall of the jury segment, the way I liked it was done. So they would actually, we wouldn't see it, not live when it happened, but they would do it while the house guests were still in the house. For example, in this case, Jackson would be in the living room, let's say, and Holly would be sequestered maybe, and they had a household room. I'm just coming up with, I'm not 100% sure. And the house guests would actually ask questions over, remotely from wherever they were located. It would be like they'd be sitting around a room, and they would actually ask the 2 finalists questions in more than just this 3 questions things, and they weren't together with each other. Holly and Jackson would have been separate when they answered the questions, and it was a longer session. It took, and there was a bit more grilling involved, I think, and we only saw a very small portion of it. I don't know if did we see any of it. We must have saw some of it, but I should go back and watch one of those and figure out when it was. Not that it makes a difference. I'll never go back to that because they like to do it live on the show. By the way, can we agree that 90 minutes appears to be not long enough for this season, because Julie was really pushing him at the end to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And they didn't talk about some things that they could have definitely talked about if they hadn't been in such a hurry-up mode. But maybe they also are happy to not be in a hurry-up, mode, so they couldn't spend too much time on it. They would just kind of hit the house guests with everything and be like, okay, thanks, bye. And, all right, so I'm all over the place here, and I've got about 5 minutes to express my thoughts, at least today. Oh, jury question. So Nicole came out. They questioned the house guests. I don't think the house guests came up with those questions on their own. I think the jury was given some suggested questions to ask, specifically the thing about way women were treated and stuff. That just seemed planned. That seemed written totally by production for them to ask. Maybe you disagree with me, but those questions were fairly well formulated for a group of people who, in theory, have not seen much of the show and don't understand some of the things that the America or the audience might be upset about. So I felt like they were shaping the narrative that early on. Production was by using their own questions, giving them to the jury and say, here, ask this. Pardon me. Jackson was very formulaic in his answers, usually using parts of his own, stuff he'd practiced, as far as he already had his canned responses, and he kind of would pivot on whatever somebody said and kind of turn it into answering his standard questions about, how he did things, and there was never any malice, and he was very robotic in his answers, in my opinion. Holly stumbled and stammered and was unsure, and look, she probably answered questions like I would be much more like Holly. She mentioned her ADD to Jackson last weekend when she's like, I can't focus. I have problems. And you know what? That's probably true. And in Holly and Jackson in the final head of household competition, the one question she missed, she said she misheard it. She probably wasn't focused. She probably wasn't listening at that exact moment in time, and she missed it. She missed what was said. I don't know if Jackson is on any kind of ADD meds. If he's not, but a lot of the house guests end up being on ADD. So maybe Jackson's been taking ADD meds this whole time and is able to really focus on what's being said. And Holly maybe is unmedicated ADD and she can't keep a focus and she's all over the place, like me. So Holly just showed her inability to quite stay focused on the topic, and she got lost in her thoughts and would stammer and stumble, and it showed in her jury question answering, and it also showed in her final speech. I have not gone back to time the final speech, but my guess is she got more time than Jackson got, and that's why Julie had to cut her off. People were kind of like, oh, of course Julie's cutting her off. I think Jackson was done in, like a minute and a half, and Holly probably was hitting the 2-minute mark, and Julie's like, you got it, we got to stop. But I should go back and time that, because that is a point of contention with some fans. The voting, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's nothing important. It was 6-3 for Jackson. I believe it was Holly, Kat, and Nicole. Not Holly. I did it. I knew I was going to do that. I said I was going to do that. Jessica, Kat, and Nicole, I think, are the three that voted for Holly. And I did see Kat in her post-show interview. She said if she'd known everything that she knew after the vote, she might have voted differently. I don't know if that's just Kat trying to cover her ass for the way she voted. No, but she did. No, wait, she did vote that way. I gotta go back and watch it. Kat did vote for Holly, right? Oh, crap. Doesn't matter. Nobody needs to correct me. It was 6-3, and I don't really care about who voted for who. Jackson won. Jackson, frankly, deserved to win on gameplay. But, there's all kinds of other things that CBS decided to go with, which, as I wrote last night, let's cut to the chase now, because now I'm like 2 minutes from work. They decided to really throw the house guests, or a good chunk of the house guests, under the bus. And same way that Jack got blindsided, they seemed to kind of blindside Jackson, although he should have been expecting it, but maybe he just didn't expect the level that he got. Christy, was she mentioned in there? I think she was. Jack again. I don't remember if Annalise was mentioned or not. But, they kind of said, look at this behavior you guys had. And then they gave every jury, I think every jury member got to say something. Every non-jury member got to say something. Bella's was at Nick. Ovi's was about Nicole getting, quote, bullied. Kemi's was directed at Jackson. David's was directed, I can't remember who else was a non-jury member? Oh, Sam didn't talk, did he? No. Sam was the one non-jury member that didn't get to say anything, I don't think. Unless I missed it, I don't think Sam got to talk. So, yeah. Oh, well. He probably is happy that he just got sunk back in the back. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of this. It's still quite salty out there on the internet. The one thing this did do is this stirred things up with the fans that are mad about the all the crap that went on early on in the season. The cheating on the slop was never touched. But the perceived, Julie even called it out, said, look, there's a lot of people out there that are bothered that you, Jackson, that you picked these four people and banished them, and there's a perception. And of course, Jackson freaked out and said, I'm not a racist, kind of a thing. He's doomed from the start. He's not going to win that. He just, I don't know how he could have handled it any differently, and I'm not saying any better. But he was certainly, man, he was like, oh my God, what's going on? Just that look on his face the whole time. He definitely didn't have a smile on his face until the very end, when Julie asked about the showmance, and that was another classic moment. Holly was kind of trying to be funny and joking and lighten the mood and be like, I don't know what's going to happen. But it was a perfect screen cap that I grabbed that showed her looking like, I don't know, why would I be with this guy, kind of a thing. The backyard interviews were not live. There were no live backyard interviews. The only ones I have seen were the ones put out by CBS, and those were pre-recorded. They were edited, at least in one case. I know in Holly's there was one point where you could see where they stopped the recording and restarted. So, which is exactly what I said. I thought they would pre-record the questions, probably so CBS can potentially, I don't know if they're vetting anybody else's or if they're letting them ask whatever questions they want and use the answers. But I wouldn't doubt it if they didn't say, hey, we want to see what you plan to show, what you plan to publish. I don't know. It'd be a good question to ask for which group would actually, maybe the Taryn, I guess, if Taryn's doing video interviews, if someone asks him, were you free to ask whatever you wanted? Were you, did you have to get your clips approved before you use them? That would be a question to ask. Or Rachel. I don't know if Rachel's probably going to toe the company line. See, the thing is, the people, I would think that JC would toe the company line, or he won't even have he's not going to have a say. And that's why I said Taryn, because they're more involved in the production end of their stuff. JC is just a face that AfterBuzz or whoever is using, and Rachel was right, or that not after. So JC would be the one that Pop TV is using. So Pop TV is the one that's going to have a say, and that's a CBS company, anyways. And then Rachel is just probably not doing the actual production of the post questions and stuff. So she was probably just thrown in front and said, "You go ask these questions, and we'll take care of the rest." Taryn might actually have some involvement in the questions afterwards, so that'd be a thing to find out. I'm not going to go looking. I don't care that much, other than to talk about it. And that's about it for today. I'll do another one of these probably tomorrow. We'll see. I gotta go. Yep. Nicole won America's Favorite. We knew that was going to happen. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I will be back again, like I said, tomorrow. I'm sure to talk some more. And we'll talk to you all later. Thanks again for all your support and all that good stuff. I keep wanting to say thank you. I did send out lots of thank yous last night. And, yeah, that's it. Gotta go. Bye.